The cemetery is the richest place on earth, not because of the marble headstones or the silent manicured lawns, but because it is a vast, silent library of unfulfilled potential. It is the final resting place for books that were never written, companies that were never launched, cures that were never discovered, masterpieces that were never painted. It is where the symphony that would have changed music forever remains forever a single, silent note in one person's mind. It is where the dream of a better life for a family, conceived in the heart of an immigrant generations ago, was laid to rest alongside the dreamer. These are not the dreams that failed. These are the dreams that were never even given a chance to fail. They died intact. They were buried with their owners. And the greatest tragedy, the one that should shake you to your very core, is that this is the intended destination for most dreams. The majority are designed to never leave the sanctuary of the mind. They are meant to be beautiful, comforting thoughts, eternal possibilities that never have to face the brutal, unforgiving test of reality. And you are carrying such a dream right now. You feel its weight. It's the idea that wakes you up at 3 a.m. It's the vision you see when you close your eyes in a moment of quiet. It's the quiet whisper in your soul that says, there is more. You are meant for more. But alongside that whisper is a louder, more insistent voice, the voice of reason, the voice of the world. It tells you to be practical. It reminds you of your responsibilities. It points to the odds, the statistics, the countless others who have tried and failed. This voice, this chorus of doubt, is the first and most powerful gatekeeper standing between you and the realization of your dream. It is the primary reason most people arrive at the end of their lives not with a list of glorious failures, but with a pristine, untouched vision of what could have been. They choose the comfort of the dream over the chaos of the pursuit. They choose the safety of the harbor over the tempest of the open sea. But what if that choice is not a choice at all, but a surrender to a force that can be understood, confronted, and mastered? Napoleon Hill, in his timeless study of the world's most accomplished individuals, did not discover a secret gene or a lucky charm. He uncovered a fundamental law of human achievement, as real and as immutable as the law of gravity. He called it the law of success, and at its very core lies a principle so simple, so profound, that most people hear it and dismiss it as trivial. They believe that success is complicated, that it requires a labyrinthine series of steps known only to a select few. But the truth is far more challenging. The truth is that success becomes inevitable when you make a single, irrevocable decision. Not a wish, not a hope, a decision. A burning, white-hot commitment that bypasses all logic, all fear, and all external opinion. A decision that says, this is no longer an option. This is a direction. This is my destiny, and I will meet it, no matter the cost. This is the dividing line between the multitude who die with their dreams intact and the rare few who build monuments from them. It is not intelligence. It is not talent. It is not even opportunity. It is the quality of your definiteness of purpose. It is the furnace-like intensity of your desire. Think of Thomas Edison, not as the iconic inventor, but as the man standing in a laboratory that had just burned to the ground, watching a lifetime of work and research turn to ash. At that moment, his dream was not just a dream, it was a smoldering ruin. Most would have seen that as a sign. Most would have surrendered to the reason of the situation. But Edison did not. He turned to his son and said, "Go get your mother and all her friends. They'll never see a fire like this again." He saw opportunity in the catastrophe. He understood that the fire, while destroying the past, had cleared the ground for a new, more brilliant future. His purpose was not tied to a particular building or set of notes. It was etched into his consciousness. It was a decision that had already been made, and a mere fire could not unmake it. That is the mindset you must cultivate. Not positive thinking, not blind optimism, but a core deep knowing that your dream is not a fleeting fancy. It is an extension of your identity. It is the reason you are here. The world does not deliver greatness to those who simply want it. The world yields to those who demand it with an unwavering conviction that admits no possibility of defeat. The first battle, then, is not fought in the boardrooms or the marketplaces. It is fought in the 6 inches of space between your ears. It is a civil war, waged between the part of you that remembers every failure, every criticism, every reason you are not good enough, and the part of you that knows, with a certainty that defies all evidence, that you are capable of achieving the extraordinary. This war will be won not by a single heroic charge, but by the daily, disciplined occupation of your own mind. You must become the absolute ruler of your mental kingdom. You must evict the tenets of doubt and fear and install a new government, one founded on the principle of inevitable success. This begins with the stories you tell yourself. Every moment of every day, you are narrating your own life. Is it a tragedy, a comedy of errors, a tedious documentary, or is it an epic tale of transformation and triumph? The language you use in the privacy of your own thoughts is the architect of your reality. When you say, "I'll try," you have already given yourself permission to fail. You have built a backdoor exit from your own commitment. The language of the exceptional is the language of finality. I will. It must be. There is no other way. These are not just phrases. They are declarations of war on the status quo. They are the first commands you issue to the universe, signaling your readiness to receive what you have decided is yours. This is not mystical nonsense. It is the practical application of auto-suggestion, as Hill described it. You are programming your subconscious mind, the most powerful engine ever created, to work tirelessly towards a single, focused goal. You are feeding it with a clear, compelling, and emotionally charged image of your future self. Look at your hands. These are not the hands of a spectator. They are the instruments of creation. They are capable of building, of shaping, of molding the raw materials of your life into the image of your dream. But before they can move, your mind must see, truly see. Most people wander through life with a blurred, fuzzy notion of what they want. They want to be successful. They want to be rich. They want to be happy. These are meaningless words. They are empty vessels with no specific content. They are like telling a taxi driver you want to go somewhere nice. You will drift aimlessly until your resources are exhausted. The mastermind, the architect of a remarkable life, operates with the precision of a cartographer charting a new world. They do not want wealth. They know the exact financial figure required to build their vision. They do not want success. They can describe, in a vivid sensory detail, what their life looks like, feels like, and sounds like when their purpose is fulfilled. This is the power of a definite chief aim. It is the North Star by which you will navigate every decision, every setback, every distraction. Without it, you are a ship adrift in a storm. tossed by every wave of circumstance, blown off course by every wind of opinion. With it, you become a battleship, cutting through the tempest, armored against distraction, moving with relentless purpose toward a predetermined destination. The storm does not cease because you have a goal. The waves do not calm, but your relationship to the chaos is transformed. The chaos becomes a backdrop against which your determination shines even brighter. Take the story of Walt Disney. He did not simply have a vague idea to make cartoons. He had a crystalline vision for a feature-length animated film when the very concept was considered commercial suicide. He saw Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. He could hear the music. He could feel the emotional arc of the story. His brother Roy, the pragmatic businessman, and nearly every banker in Hollywood saw only the immense risk, the astronomical cost. But Walt's vision was so clear, so real to him, that he could impart it to his animators with the force of a prophet. He mortgaged everything. He bet it all on a dream that existed nowhere but in his own mind, and on the storyboards his team created. The world called him a fool, but his definite chief aim was a force of nature. It was so powerful that it attracted the resources, the talent, and ultimately the audience needed to bring it into being. Your dream requires the same clarity. You must move from the abstract to the specific. You must sit down, not as a dreamer, but as a scribe, and write out your chief aim in minute, exhaustive detail. What is the precise outcome? What does it look like? What are you wearing? Where are you standing? Who is with you? What emotions are you feeling? This is not an exercise in wishful thinking. This is the act of blueprinting your future. You are downloading a schematic into the supercomputer of your subconscious mind. And once that blueprint is King Shi etched, a mysterious alchemy begins to take place. Your reticular activating system, the filtering mechanism in your brain, starts to work for you. It begins to highlight the people, the opportunities, the ideas, and the resources that align with your definite chief aim. It's as if you've tuned your personal radio to a specific frequency, and suddenly the static of the world fades away, and the signal of your destiny comes in loud and clear. You will see connections where others see coincidence. You will recognize opportunity where others see obstacle, because you know what you are looking for. This clarity is the antidote to the paralysis of choice. The modern world is a carnival of distractions, 1,000 different paths shouting for your attention. Without a definite aim, you will succumb to what psychologists call decision fatigue, exhausting your willpower on trivialities, leaving no energy for the monumental task of building your dream. But with a definite aim, your decisions become simple. You need only ask one question. Does this action, this relationship, this opportunity move me closer to my definite chief aim? If the answer is yes, you pursue it with vigor. If the answer is no, you discard it without a second thought. This is the ruthless prioritization of the truly focused. It is what allows you to say no to good things so you can say yes to the essential thing. It is the discipline of the master architect who refuses to clutter his masterpiece with unnecessary decorations. Your life is that masterpiece. Every yes, every no is a brushstroke on the canvas. Make sure you are painting the picture you intended, not the one the world expects of you. A vision without action is a hallucination. It is a beautiful, detailed daydream that ultimately leaves you more frustrated than if you had never dreamed at all. The bridge between the world of thought and the world of tangible reality is built with the bricks of disciplined, consistent, and massive action. This is the point where the dream either becomes a destiny or dies a slow, quiet death. This is the chasm that most never cross. They love the idea of the result, but they are not in love with the process. They want the harvest, but they are unwilling to till the soil, plant the seeds, and pull the weeds under the scorching sun. They believe in a mythical someday when the conditions will be perfect, when the stars will align, and they will be struck by a lightning bolt of motivation that will carry them effortlessly to their goal. Let me be unequivocally clear. That day will never come. The perfect time does not exist. The conditions will never be ideal. You will never feel completely ready. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for the ocean to calm before you set sail. You will die on the shore. The great ones, from Henry Ford building his assembly line to Elon Musk revolutionizing space travel, understood a fundamental truth. Action is not the result of motivation. Action is the cause of it. The very act of moving, of doing, of creating momentum generates a feedback loop of energy, clarity, and confidence. The first step is always the hardest because it is taken in the face of infinite possibility and infinite fear. But the second step is easier. The 10th step, easier still. You build momentum not by thinking about running, but by running. This requires a level of personal discipline that is the hallmark of every individual who has ever achieved anything of lasting value. Discipline is the choice, made again and again and again, to prioritize your future self over your present self. It is the voice that gets you out of a warm bed when it's still dark outside because you committed to honing your craft. It is the force that turns off the distraction of the television, the social media feed, the empty entertainment, and directs your focus to the task that will move the needle. Discipline is often portrayed as a form of self-punishment, a grim, joyless austerity. This is a lie. True discipline is the highest form of self-love. It is the deep, abiding respect you have for your own potential. It is you telling yourself, you are worth the effort. Your dream is worth the sacrifice. Your future is worth the temporary discomfort. It is the iron will that forges the steel of character. And this discipline must be applied with relentless consistency. Success is not a lottery ticket. It is not a single, heroic, all-or-nothing gamble. That is the stuff of movies. Real success is the compound interest of small, daily actions, so seemingly insignificant that most people overlook them. It is the writer writing one page every single day, without fail. It is the entrepreneur making one more sales call after a dozen rejections. It is the athlete performing the fundamental drills long after they have been mastered. It is the relentless, quiet, undramatic accumulation of effort that over time becomes an unstoppable force. A river cuts through rock, not through its power, but through its persistence. You must become that river. You must show up for yourself even, and especially on the days you don't feel like it. Those are the days that define you. Those are the days that separate the dreamers from the doers. This path of action will be littered with obstacles. You will face rejection. You will experience failure. You will be met with criticism and ridicule. This is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is the definitive proof that you are on the right one. If your dream is worthy, it will be contested. The universe, in its wisdom, tests the mettle of those who seek to reshape it. It sends challenges not to stop you, but to strengthen you, to see if your desire is a fleeting whim or an unshakable conviction. The story of Abraham Lincoln is not a story of unbroken success. It is a story of relentless resilience, a story of business failure, political defeat, and personal tragedy strung together over decades, yet never once extinguishing the fire of his purpose. Each setback was not a tombstone, but a stepping stone. He understood that failure is not the opposite of success. It is an integral part of it. It is data. It is feedback. It is the chisel that chips away your imperfections, revealing the masterpiece within. Therefore, you must reframe your relationship with adversity. You must see it, not as a barrier, but as a teacher. Every no brings you closer to a yes. Every closed door forces you to find a window, or to build a door of your own. This requires a quality of adaptability, a mental agility that allows you to pivot without losing sight of your ultimate destination. The plan you start with will almost certainly not be the plan you finish with. The market will change. Technology will evolve. Circumstances will shift. The rigid oak tree snaps in the hurricane. The flexible bamboo bends and survives. Hold your definite chief aim with the rigidity of granite, but hold your strategies and tactics with the looseness of water. Be willing to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn. The most dangerous person in the world is the one who has stopped being a student. The day you believe you have arrived, you have begun your descent. This journey of relentless action and adaptation is fueled by a force more powerful than any temporary setback, a deep, unwavering sense of purpose. Why are you doing this? Is it for the applause, the money, the external validation? Those are weak fuels. They will burn out at the first sign of difficulty. A purpose that is rooted in something beyond yourself. In service, in contribution, in leaving a legacy that outlasts you, is an inexhaustible source of energy. It is the why that makes any how bearable. Viktor Frankl, surviving the unimaginable horrors of the Nazi concentration camps, discovered that those who had a why to live for could endure almost any how. Your dream, when connected to a purpose larger than your own ego, becomes a mission. And a person on a mission is an unstoppable force. They are no longer just building a business. They are solving a problem. They are no longer just creating art. They are adding beauty to the world. They are no longer just seeking success. They are fulfilling a destiny. This sense of purpose must be guarded with ferocious intensity, for the world will constantly try to diminish it. You will encounter the dream killers, those who, out of their own fear and inadequacy, will project their limitations onto you. They will tell you to be realistic. They will point to your past failures as proof of your future ones. You must learn to build an immune system against this poison. Surround yourself, either in person or through the wisdom of books and biographies, with a mastermind alliance. As Hill taught, no great achievement was ever accomplished alone. It is the synergy of minds aligned toward a common purpose that creates a collective intelligence far greater than the sum of its parts. Find your tribe. Find those few people who see your vision, who believe in your potential even when you doubt it yourself. Their belief will become a shield against the arrows of the world, and through it all, cultivate a spirit of profound gratitude. This may seem counterintuitive when you are in the midst of the struggle, when the goal still seems far away. But gratitude is not a reward for success. It is the foundation of it. It is the vibration that attracts more of what you appreciate. When you operate from a state of lack and frustration, you broadcast a signal of scarcity, and the universe responds in kind. But when you practice gratitude for the lessons in the failure, for the strength gained from the obstacle, for the simple fact that you are alive and have the capacity to strive for something great, you align yourself with the frequency of abundance. You open yourself to receiving the ideas, the people, and the opportunities that will accelerate your journey. Gratitude is the lens that allows you to see the invisible bridge that is forming beneath your feet, leading you step by step toward your dream. So, we arrive at the ultimate choice, the same choice that has been presented to every human being who has ever drawn breath. You stand at the crossroads of your life. One path is wide, well-trodden, and softly lit. It is the path of the comfortable, the conventional, the acceptable. It is the path of the dream, kept safely within, a beautiful, private companion for a life of quiet resignation. It is the path that leads, with absolute certainty, to the richest place on earth, to the cemetery of intact dreams. The other path is narrow, rocky, and disappears into a mist of uncertainty. It is the path of the decided. It is the path of definite purpose, disciplined action, and relentless resilience. It is the path of the architect, the builder, the one who refuses to let their symphony remain silent. This path offers no guarantees of comfort. It promises only struggle, growth, and the raw, unforgiving privilege of seeing what you are truly made of. The world does not need more dreamers. The world is saturated with beautiful ideas. What the world needs, what it cries out for, are builders, those rare few who possess the courage to take the dream from the ethereal world of thought and hammer it into the solid world of reality. This is your call to arms. This is the moment you decide which path you will walk. Will you be a custodian of a pristine, untouched dream, or will you be the architect of a legacy? The dream you carry is not a fragile thing to be protected. It is a seed containing unimaginable potential. But a seed left in the packet is just a curiosity. It is only when it is thrust into the dark, resisting soil, when it is battered by rain and scorched by sun, that it is forced to crack open, to reach for the light, and to become what it was always meant to be. Your time is now, not tomorrow, not when the conditions are perfect. Now, the first step is the decision that this dream will not die with you, the decision that you will not arrive at the end of your days with a song still unsung. Let that decision be the fire in your belly. Let it be the compass in your hand. Let it be the promise you make to yourself in this very moment. Go, build. The world is waiting for your masterpiece. Do not make it wait until it is too late.